I am super confident that if I was to teach anybody my strategy and they followed it to the T, that they will be profitable. Now, how did I become this confident? It's simply because of the things that I'm going to tell you in this video. So if there was one video that you need to watch all the way through, it will be this one. The things I'm going to tell you today are the things that literally allowed me to now finally say with confidence that I can this trading thing, I've got it on lock at this point. So trading isn't all about technicals. Let's just be real. Technicals is very easy. That's the easy part. I can give you everything. The technicals, I can give it to you on a sheet of paper to follow it, and you're probably going to be able to. It's not that hard, but you'll realize that weeks after weeks after weeks you're still losing money and you're not going to know exactly why. And that is because of the things here, and that is because of your habits and just implementing things that's going to allow you to keep your capital so you can survive the long game of when you actually have losing streaks and when you have to deal with revenge trading and all that stuff. Once you know how to protect your capital, you will survive trading. You will make money. It's all about protecting your capital, because I can look at you now and tell you that most people who, if that is you, that you know you're not there yet to where you're making money consistently, it's usually because when there is a losing streak that comes now, you don't even survive 1 to 2 days. Like your account, disintegrates by then because you overtrade, you put everything on the line, and then you blow your account to where like you didn't even allow the market to beat you down a little bit, and then you get back up and start making money again. Losing streaks happens to every single person. You will lose, but in that time you want to lose maybe 1%, 2%, 3%, but most of us will lose our entire account in that space of time. So then you're starting again over and over again because you just keep losing your account. So protecting your capital is key. Now in the past, I'll tell you what I used to do that used to make me lose money and why I actually had to blow several accounts before I became profitable. So the first thing was I took 3 trades per day. It sounds good, right? 3 trades per day, like 3 trades per day max anyway, which doesn't sound bad. The main idea was, okay, cool. If I lose a trade, then I'm going to enter that same trade if the setup is still playing out, and after that, if I was to lose that, then I'll probably take another one. So max, I've entered 3 trades basically, and then that's cool. But then that also means that you can lose 3% in a day plus commissions. Now you're pushing 4%. 4% in a day is wild, especially in this stage where most of us trade prop firms, because that's just the way for you to make as much money as possible, I guess, without having to save up 100k. Losing 4% is wild, bro. When they're giving you 10% max, you lost 4% in 1 day, you have another bad day, that's 8% already in 2 days. Did you get, like, at that point you're finished? And then when you do win, most of us aren't winning 4% in a day. You're making maybe 1 or 2 in a day, maybe 3. Do you get what I mean? But overall, you're losing way too much than you're making. So although the idea that I had wasn't bad to just take maximum of 3, the main issue, the primary issue, was re-entries. I don't know if everybody else do this, but for my strategy now, I used to do re-entries where I get stopped out based on what my stop loss is, but the trading idea is still valid. So I'll enter the trade again, but then sometimes it will stop you out again and then maybe go your way, right? So it's like the idea is correct, everything is still fine, but sometimes they'll stop you out twice before they then go your way, sometimes even 3 times. So that you can't just keep entering the same trade, right? And you can say yes, make your stop loss as wide as possible. By that point, that affects your RR as well. Like now you need the trade to move a lot more before you actually make your money. So most of the time I'll try my best to lose just 2%, but then plus commissions and spreads on those issues, most of the time you're going to touch 3% and then maybe 4%. So now here is what I do. I have therefore removed re-entries. The main reason why is that I've now realized I've gone to a point where less is more. It now makes sense. When you first start trading, or when I started trading back in 2022 October, I remember hearing these stuff: less is more. All the big boy traders trade once a day, they take 1 trade and that's probably it. I got it, but I didn't, and I'm sure you've heard this too as well. But now that I'm at this point, I definitely understand it. When you have a big account, first of all, 1 trade is already someone's salary right off the bat, so you don't need to over trade. But the main reason to why I don't do re-entries no more is because now, if I take 1 trade, 1 setup, the setup shows up, I take that setup and it loses, cool. Even if it is to play around and go my way, fine. I've lost that 1%. All good by me, right? And now what this now means is that I have to wait for another setup to show up before I can lose 2% in that same day. In some cases, nothing will show up. Plus I only trade the London session. That's it, 1 session. Sometimes New York, but regardless, I'm trading just 1 session. So in that 1 session, I have a few opportunities. I'm not going to get 1,000 setups, probably 1, 2, maybe even 3. but most of the time maybe 2 setups will show up. So it means at max now, if there's 2 setups and I take those 2 setups and it loses, it's just a losing day. Like that day is just not meant to be. I've lost 2%. Then the next day now, because now my RR is minimum of 1 to 2, I'm making 2% on that next trade, minimum. Sometimes it could be more, it could be 1 to 4, 1 to 5, but minimum I know that tomorrow I'm gonna make this money back. It's very, very healthy in psychology, because now what this has done to me is that I no longer need to feel that pressure of I need to take this next trade, I need to enter again and, you know, add bare lots on the line just so I can make my money back. Game changer, because before I used to do that 1-to-1, which is not bad. Like, you just have to be very, very accurate. You just have to be cooking a lot basically to consistently stick to 1-to-1s, right? Works, but it's harder on the psychology and not everyone can do it. That's the main thing. Hence why I kind of had to find a way to make it better, because I want to teach other people how to make money as well. So how can other people do it as well as me? So now I want to choose minimum and some other stuff. Getting rid of re-entries has now saved me from sometimes losing 4% or 3% to now max 1%, 2% in a day, max 2%, which doesn't happen often, but max 2%. And say like I lost the first trade, the next trade that might show up that day, now I've taken that 2%. Now on the day I'm up 1%. Good day. Do you know what I mean? Like your mind is always healthy. You feel good, you feel calm, you feel relaxed. You never feel that rush of you just want to trade and revenge trade. You see that feeling you get when you just put so much on the line because you're trying to make your money back, and then you're very anxious that this is literally either going to make or break your account. We've all probably been there, right? It's eliminated that completely. And to add to all of this mix, I only trade 1 pair, I trade 1 session, and I trade 1 time frame. Everything is so much simpler. I'm focusing on just 1 pair. I don't have to look at anything else. I'm not looking through. I never have to decide, cool, there's 2 setups and 2 pairs, which one do I take? I stick to 1. I know exactly how my 1 pair moves. Like, I've cooked with it a lot now that I know exactly how it's gonna move, how much I'm roughly gonna get. When I'm backtesting, I've backtested different things that I know this pair very, very well. I therefore have an advantage over other people that might be trading 5 pairs, right? Second thing is 1 time frame. Again, I'm only sticking to 1 time frame. Like, it's a lot easier for me. It's just simple. It works for me anyway. I trade a 3-minute time frame. It means I can get high RR. Everything is just perfect for me on that time frame. Anything less, sometimes a bit more tricky. Anything higher, again, less RR. So for me, that's just been my sweet spot based on how I trade. So it's been perfect. And obviously trading 1 session just means that I literally have some sort of organization to my life. I trade from 8 a.m. GMT to roughly 12 max, right? And that means that in that time, if I find my setup, I'm good. If I don't, I'm good. This also means I'm not taking too many setups in a day, because if you decide to trade London and New York, you expose yourself to maybe 5 trades, 6 trades in that day. That's over trading at that point. But literally most of the time I'll find 1 to 2 and I'm good. So again, all this is doing is making me save capital. It's making me not lose money. In other words, work on not losing money and you will make money. As long as your strategy is profitable, as long as you can keep your money as much as possible, you realize that the money just comes in. When you do take trades that win, these win very well. Sometimes I'll get 1 to 5. That's 5 losses taken care of. That could potentially happen. That's a week's worth of losses on that 1 trade alone. So overall now, it means that all of this is helping me to, you know, not revenge trade. It's helping me to keep so much calm. I'm super confident because I know what my RR is at the end of every month. Like sometimes I can have a 10% month. There's been months of 21% month. So just having the idea that doing all of this stuff is giving me a 20% month, no matter how, like, for me to lose that much is insane. Like, it's just not going to happen. So as long as I follow my strategy to the T, everything's going to be fine. Hence why I have that confidence to say that as long as you follow the rules and everything to the T, and you become so disciplined that you make a way, whatever strategy you're trading, you find a way to keep your money as much as you can, so you're not over trading and taking too many trades. I promise you, as long as your strategy is profitable, you'll be making money. It's really that simple. And now for 1 extra gem, just have someone to be accountable of you, somebody that knows the trades that you're taking, somebody that's going to know your P&L. Send them your P&L every single day, so they will know that, okay, cool, today you just blew 10%. You know, it's good for you. It's good on your psychology, because if no one knows, you're going to keep making the same bad habits. For me, how I did it, I post my trades on my socials every single day. Not even on my story. Like on my story, yes, but I also post reels now. So it's like, everyone's going to know when I'm losing. I post my losses as well. So this is a way for me to be disciplined on myself, because I know the world's going to see it. Do you know what I mean? So you don't have to go that extreme, but even if you're going to send it to your friend, your best buddy, someone else who trades with you, it's still something. So that way it helps you to stay in check. Since I've started doing all of these things, game changer, I'm telling you, that's when things just it clicked. Everything just made sense. So if you found any value in this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it from me, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Peace.